Aloha. My name is Athena Alexander, and I'm excited to share with you the self-forgiveness treatment plan. This treatment is phenomenal. It made tremendous changes in my life. It helped me to overcome my excessive drinking pattern, my feeling of anxiety, depression, a lot of emotional traumas from the past, and challenges with weight. This particular treatment plan really helped support a lot of the past traumas that I was carrying around with me that contributed to a lot of my health issues. So I look forward to it having that same amazing benefit in your life as it had for me. The process that I have gone through to help really remove a lot of these obstacles in my life was a couple of processes. The first one was to desire to take responsibility for my self-healing. And the second step was to then be open to accepting myself as I am. So the treatment process for the self-forgiveness was first saying to myself, I love and accept myself as I am. And as I said that, I did some deep breathing. And I oxidated my body and my mind so I have more life force energy to help support me in the process of this releasing these negative and emotional charges that was trapped in my mind, trapped in my emotions, and in the cells in my body, reactivating itself and creating these repetitive traumas and patterns and attracting these same habitual negative experiences, people in my life that just was recycling. This really helped to make massive shifts in my life. So I used self-forgiveness with acupressure. So there are several areas in my body that I would utilize the acupressure in. And I first would say, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, the third eye, the crown chakra. I love and accept myself as I am. And I deeply and completely love me just as I am. I accept life as is. And I love and accept myself deeply and completely, unconditionally. So after I do a couple of the accepting me as I am, because I recognize that the more I resist the situation is the more I was feeding it energy and the more that it remained in my reality and in my life experiences. So just accepting that it's in my life helped to release the resistance to what is. So that was powerful. Just the acceptance that I am flawed, that I'm imperfect, and that's okay. I will love myself unconditionally anyway. So just loving me as I am unconditionally and allowing the situation to be the excessive eating and allowing it to be. Resisted, let go of the resistance of the I want to be different than I am. I want things to be different than it is. Just allowing that acceptance of it was a powerful tool. And the next step that I took after surrendering to my challenges, surrendering to my pain, and accepting it as I am unconditionally, then I was open to taking more deep breaths, sitting and honoring myself in my flawed state and being okay with me as I am. Then I went into the self-forgiveness treatment plan and I started doing the acupressure. Sometimes I massage those areas and sometimes I tap in these particular areas and I go through the different parts in my body and I spend time there tapping and thinking about the emotions that's showing up in my life that's causing me discomfort. And then I would be with that pain and sit with it and honor it. And I would tell myself, I am willing to forgive myself. And just knowing that I'm willing to forgive the flawed parts of myself was a powerful statement. And after I said, I am willing to forgive myself, then I said, I am truly sorry. And I identified myself with the conscious mind, with talking to my inner child that's stuck in the past, in the pain, in the traumas of my childhood experiences. So in my mind's eye, I would envision myself, and sometimes I get a pictures of myself when I'm a younger child, when I was 6, 7, 5, when I was experiencing most of these emotional disappointments of, not getting my needs met, not feeling loved, not feeling wanted, not feeling like I belong. And those emotions got trapped in my cells, got trapped in my body, and it kept attracting the same type of dramatic experience to feel those same feelings, to find myself in circumstances where I feel rejected because I felt rejected as a child. So I would attract the relationships in my life that made me feel rejected again. And rejection was a very strong and powerful emotion for me. It held on to me for many years, where regardless of the relationship I got into, things went south, and I usually wind up feeling rejected, like I'm giving so much and I'm loving so deeply. Why am I getting rejected? Why is others rejecting me? What's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? So rejection was one of my most painful emotion that was trapped in my cells and kept repeating itself. So that is one of them. I'm going to focus on giving you an example of the process. So I would do acupressure tapping on my chest, because that's where I held a lot of these feelings. I held it in my chest. I felt it deeply. The pain was intense for me, of feeling isolated and alone and rejected and not wanted, because my parents left me when I was a young child. So apparently that emotion was trapped and still in my cells and was reiterating itself and showing up time and time again until I process it. So I went to that pain and I said, rejection, why are you here? What is the message, the lesson, or the deep hurt that I need to face and process through? I sat with that, breathing in deeply for a while, and then tears start rolling down my eyes. And the thoughts that came to my mind was that I was rejecting me. And I was finding people in my life to treat me the way I was treating myself. I was meeting my needs. I was putting everybody's needs above my own. I was so desperate to be loved. I so longed to feel a sense of belonging and to feel loved and wanted that I overcompensate, that I gave too much in a desperate, clinging, grabby kind of way, and that just repelled the people from me, and it hurt me even deeper. It was like ripping the scars back open of not feeling wanted and loved. So when I sat with that pain, wanted to honor that pain, those are the images that I got for myself. I am getting a mirror reflection back to me, how I'm treating me, how I'm not putting myself as a priority in my life, and how I'm putting everybody's needs above my own, and I am out of balance. And that's what that rejection was here to teach me. So then I went in and I said, I am so sorry, baby girl. I am so sorry. I really didn't mean to abandon and reject us as we was as a child. I was just so longing to be loved. And as I said those words, tears started coming to my eyes, and I said, I am worthy and deserving of being forgiven, and I forgive myself. I forgive myself for not being there for me. I forgive myself for abandoning my needs and my desires. They are important too. I am truly sorry for all the times that I abandoned me. Didn't give myself the time to rest or to play, and just chasing others' love. I forgive myself. And I am worthy of my forgiveness, and I accept my flaws and my imperfection. And I am worthy of my forgiveness. And I truly accept the forgiveness that has come. And I am grateful for my forgiveness, and I am grateful for the healing that this release of this forgiveness is bringing within every cell of my body, my mind, my body, my emotions, and my soul. And I am truly grateful for my forgiveness and for the healing that has taken place. And then I would sit with that. And most of the time, I'm resisting crying now. Most of the time, the feelings of that trauma comes up. And I usually have to repeat the words over and over again so that it can get deep into my subconscious mind to come up and out. And I often sit first thing in the morning or before I go to bed, and I have created a relationship with the three aspects of myself. My inner child that holds the emotions within my body, and my body is trying to bring up and release these negative charges, these self-sabotaging patterns, these negative thought patterns, these childhood hurts and traumas to my attention, through pain, to deep hurt, to mental anxiousness, and different means that my body have been communicating with me. So I talk to my body and I talk to my cells, and I said, I am ready to release these emotions that no longer serves us. I am ready for my healing. And then I would talk to my soul and I said, I want to know what I can do to process this pain. I want to know what the blessings, the lessons, and the reason for these emotional charges that's showing up in my life. I want to learn the lessons so it doesn't have to come back again. Please, my divine soul, my true love, bring it to my conscious mind. I am strong enough, and I am wise enough, and I am willing to face my fears. I am willing to face my pain because I will survive. I am strong enough, and I am ready for my healing. You know, when I make these statements, the thoughts come to my mind, the feelings come up out of my body, and I feel a deep release. A deep, deep release from deep within me comes up and out, and I feel light, and I feel free of that emotional pain. I don't feel anxious or worried or stressed out anymore about what's wrong with me, why nobody loves me. I don't feel like I belong. When I'm in a crowd, I feel like a fish out of water. All of those feelings of disconnection faded away. All of those feelings of not believing and trusting myself started to vanish away. And I felt stronger. I felt confident. I felt empowered just by knowing that I was strong enough and I was willing to face my fear and move through it, and it no longer can hold me bondage. I no longer was a victim and create my own self-inflicted pain upon myself. Once I knew all I had to do was be willing to love and accept myself as I am, and be willing to forgive myself for my flaws and imperfection. That's when the gate flew wide open and the healing flooded in. And prior to that, I was always more concerned about other people and their needs and how I can satisfy their needs so that they can love me. Now I truly felt loved. And it felt powerful because I was loving me and I wasn't dependent on anybody else. So I tried that self-forgiveness from feeling rejected to my drinking. I went and I said, okay, I'm drinking more than I want to. I don't like the way it makes me feel with the hangovers the next day and not being as productive as I want. This is not really serving me. So the next step that I did was I said, I accept you. It's not you, alcohol. You have nothing to do with it. You just a bystander to me not having self-control, not self-regulating myself. So I sat there and I said, my divine spirit, my true love, please bring to my conscious mind awareness of why I'm having challenges in self-regulating myself and eating too much or drinking too much or whatever I did, it was always in excess. I want to know what's the reason, what's the deep hurt I need to face, what's the message and lesson this messenger of alcohol have brought this gift to me for. And then it came to my mind as I sat there doing deep breathing and meditating that I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel like I was good enough because my parents left me as a child. So everything seemed to have brought right back to when I was a little child, taking in information from a child's mindset and not knowing how to process that pain. So that's when I said, okay, I accept me as I am. I accept my tendencies to be in excess, to drink too much and eat too much. Accept me as I am. And I love me unconditionally. With my excessive drinking, with my excessive eating, with me not meeting my goals and needs in my timeline. I love and accept me as I am, right where I am right now. And when I really sat with that self-acceptance and honoring me where I am without judgment and criticism, which I was, really good at. Beating upon myself, I was the worst slave master you can find. What's wrong with you? When you're going to stop doing this and when you're going to stop doing that? And just a bombardment of judgment and criticism. And once I decided I was going to stop being my worst enemy and be my best friend, things changed drastically for me. So that's when I said, I am enough. And I am truly sorry. And I started to tap in to release these charges from within my body. And I asked my bodies and the cells in my body to release and let go of these charges. And I said, I love and accept myself as I am with my excessive drinking, with my excessive eating, with my excessive working, everything. I accept me and love me as I am unconditionally, as is. And I forgive myself for not thinking that I'm good enough. And I am truly sorry for believing that I'm not good enough. I am good enough. And I am truly sorry, and I am willing to forgive myself for not feeling like I was enough, or I have enough, or I'm good enough. And I was just kept tapping, and these emotions started bubbling up out of me. And I said, I am truly willing to forgive myself. And I forgive myself. And I am grateful for my forgiveness. And I am grateful for the healing that is coming from my self-acceptance, my unconditional love, and my self-forgiveness. And once I made these statements and did this over and over again, things just started to change in my life. I just started seeing things happening different in my life. People was drawn to me. Circumstances and situations started changing right before my eyes. Once I changed internally, my outer environment changed. And that's when it light bulb went on. Everything I'm experiencing in my life is my inner beliefs and emotional pain of yesterday that's trying to get my attention. This is how we feel about ourselves. These are the unprocessed emotions from our past. This is the message and the lessons that we need to become the best versions of ourselves. Then I was no longer afraid of the pain. I was no longer afraid of feeling all of these negative emotions and all of these pain from the past. I was ready to face it because I wanted to purify myself. I wanted to cleanse myself of that which I no longer need so that I can stand in my greatness and claim my inheritance and become the best version of myself. And all I had to do was love myself unconditionally, accept life as is, trust in life process, love me and forgive me unconditionally. And when I did that, I felt free. I felt empowered. I felt invincible because it doesn't matter what experience showed up. It's the same process. Receive it, accept it, love it, forgive it, and make the necessary adjustment. And once I wasn't resistant, no, this shouldn't be my life. No, this shouldn't be like this. I want it to be different. I was feeding it energy. Whatever you give attention to, you give energy to. So I was giving energy and attention to fighting what already is. And when I just loved it and honored it and asked for the blessing and the lesson, that a war that I was having within myself for not being who I wanted to be right now changed. For those of you that's struggling, whatever problems or challenges you have, whether it's food or alcohol or drugs or depression or any of that, if you tried everything else, give this a try. Go to that pain, sit with it, experience it fully without trying to follow, run away from it. Write down the intensity of the pain so you can release your mind from the obsession of that experience and just honor that pain. Okay, from a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is this feeling of rejection, this feeling of, urge for this drink, or this feeling for fear, rejection, whatever it is, write down that number and then sit with it. And guaranteed, when you sit with that pain, without trying to escape it, drug it up, get rid of it, curse it, judge it, criticize it, and just sit with that pain and ask that pain, messenger, why are you here? What's the message? So we can move through this together and experience the pain fully without trying to get rid of it. Guarantee it will start to fade away. I even did that when I was running and my knees start to hurt. And I just focused all of my attention on my knees while I was running. Just giving it my full attention. Not trying to get rid of the pain, not trying to stop. Just to experiment. I'm a bit of a scientist. And as I just gave attention to that energy, to that area, it started to release it. It started to fade away. So wherever attention goes, energy flows. So when you're sitting with your pain, I highly recommend you just give it your full attention. And have an inner smile with no judgment or criticism or expectation for it to stop or not stop or have all these narratives. Just sit there with an inner smile and feel your discomfort fully and pay attention to how long before it fades away. Pay attention to how long it takes before things start to change in your life. And then if you want that quantum speed of healing, accept yourself unconditionally, love yourself unconditionally, and forgive yourself for your flaws and imperfection, as we all came forth to play in this arena of life and have obstacles to jump over and challenges to overcome. That's what makes life delicious and worth living. So face those obstacles, face those challenges head on, and see how strong you become because of it and how fast you overcome. So give this self-forgiveness treatment a chance and watch the magic that unfolds in your life. So thank you for your time and your attention. And I look forward to many more of these amazing spiritual healing that I have experienced that I'm going to share with you. And of course, many more holistic healers here I'm going to reach out to so that they may offer you their treatments, their rituals, their healing modalities to support you on your journey of healing. It's when we all heal, wow, what an amazing life we can create collectively. So thank you. And I hope that you like this video and you subscribe and maintain this time together where we collectively support and heal each other on our journey to the best versions of ourselves.